Shalom from Israel to all of the Daystar viewers around the world. I'm Moshe Bar Tzvi, the producer and founder of Israel Now News. We at Israel Now News are dedicated to bringing you the full story and the truth about Israel from Israel. It's written in the Holy Bible when David said in Psalm 25:5, "Lead me in your truth and teach me, for you are the God of my salvation. For you I wait all the day long." And God says in Zechariah 8:16, "These are the things that you shall do. Speak out the truth to one another. Judge with truth and judgment to peace in your gates. And always search for the truth, and the truth shall set you free." John 8:31. I hope you enjoyed the program. God bless you from Jerusalem. Shalom, shalom.
Welcome to Israel Now News. I'm Yochanan El Rome.
And I'm Erin Viner.
In our top story, Palestinian terrorists have kidnapped 3 Israeli teenagers. Hamas has grabbed 3 young Israeli yeshiva students after months of calling for the abduction of Israeli soldiers and civilians. The entire state of Israel is paralyzed by the news of the abduction of Gilad Shaer and Naftali Frankel, who are both 16 years of age, and 19-year-old Eyal Ifrach. The boys were making their way home to communities in Judea and Samaria on Thursday night when they were reportedly snatched. The Israeli army is working around the clock to recover the young men. Erin Viner has more on that story.
Yes, Yochanan, hundreds of Palestinians have been arrested, including the entire Hamas leadership based in Judea and Samaria, as part of an intensive manhunt for the missing teens. The towns of Hebron and Bethlehem were completely closed down as IDF officers conducted house-to-house searches for any sign of Gilad, Naftali, and Eyal. Israeli Defense Minister Moshe Ya'alon said that the security establishment believes the boys are still alive and are being held hostage. More than 2,000 Israeli soldiers have been deployed in Judea and Samaria as part of the search and rescue effort. Israel is working at an enormous disadvantage in the investigation due to actions on the part of many local Palestinians to impede the search for the missing boys.
Just as they did in the aftermath of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, Palestinians celebrated in the streets and handed out candy as they welcomed the news of the abduction of the 3 Israeli teens. One man said they've always supported kidnappings, adding that they view this as a solution for freeing Palestinian criminals and terrorists held in Israeli prisons. Fatah and Hamas activists urged shopkeepers to destroy their closed-circuit television footage from security cameras in order to impede the IDF's investigation into the whereabouts of the kidnapped boys. Hamas released a video urging all Palestinians to fight Israeli forces in Judea and Samaria as they search for the missing teens. The Arabs created an online campaign showing that average Palestinians support the kidnapping. And in addition, cartoons reminiscent of World War II-era Nazi propaganda have been circulated on the internet.
During the very moments that Gilad, Eyal, and Naftali were being abducted by Palestinian terrorists, the wife of Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas was being treated by Israeli doctors at a private hospital in Tel Aviv. Amina Abbas underwent surgery on her leg and was treated with the utmost of care and discretion. Thousands of Palestinians are treated free of charge in Israel each year. Medical care in Gaza and the PA is severely lacking, and most Palestinians request entry permits into Israel to receive treatment in the Jewish state. Israel does not discriminate against terrorists or their family members and treats all patients equally. Several weeks ago, Israeli doctors treated the niece of a Hamas terrorist leader. Speaker of the Knesset, Yuli Edelstein, opened a recent session at the Israeli parliament by saying that Israel's treatment of Amina Abbas is a testament to how much Israel values life, while our enemies admire death. Edelstein said that while Israel behaves as a good neighbor, Israel's neighbors demonstrate irresponsibility, incitement, and hatred. In his briefing to the Knesset, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that terrorists kidnap innocent Israeli children while we treat sick Palestinian children in our hospitals. And that is the difference between our humanitarian policies and the murderous terrorism that attacks us.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke to Palestinian Authority leader Mahmoud Abbas by telephone after the kidnapping, and he told him that he expects the full cooperation of PA security forces in the search for the missing boys. Netanyahu took a hard line with Abbas, stressing that this incident reveals the nature of the terrorism we are fighting. Netanyahu went on to say that the kidnappers came from an area under Palestinian Authority control, and they fled to and are hiding in an area under Palestinian control.
As eastern Israel was consumed with the frantic search for the abducted boys, the southern front was being pounded with rockets fired from the Hamas-controlled Gaza Strip. Rockets rained down on southern Israel this past week, sending residents scrambling for their bomb shelters. The Israeli Air Force launched strikes at numerous targets in Gaza, where several rocket launching sites, weapons storage facilities, and other areas of terrorist activity were destroyed.
88 members of the United States Senate have sent a formal message of grave concern to President Barack Obama regarding his endorsement of the newly created Palestinian terrorist government. The letter said the recent formation of a Palestinian Authority unity government supported by Hamas, a designated foreign terrorist organization that has never publicly accepted the Quartet principles, represents a serious setback to the efforts to achieve peace. The letter cited the appropriations law, which clearly forbids providing aid to the Palestinian Authority should Hamas share power in or exert undue influence on the government. They concluded by saying that they will seriously reconsider any future American aid given to the Palestinians. Officials in the Obama administration are scrambling to find a technicality that will allow them to continue to provide more than $500 million in aid annually to the Palestinians. American officials released a statement describing the Fatah-Hamas government as an interim government made up of technocrats, and that the Obama administration will monitor the development of the new PA government while continuing the flow of U.S. dollars to the Palestinians.
Muslim militants are laying siege to Iraq and are claiming to have slaughtered nearly 2,000 government forces in just 1 week's time. The ISIS so-called Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant group is attempting to take over the country and has already implemented Sharia law in the areas that it's controlling. The already dwindling Christian population of Iraq has fled their holy city of Mosul, and there are reports of the mass killing of the remaining community members still there. The northern Mesopotamian city is believed to be the burial place of the prophet Jonah and was once a Christian stronghold, boasting a population of over 130,000 Iraqi Christians. When members of the terrorist ISIS group laid siege to the city last week, there were less than 10,000 Christians remaining, and now it is believed that less than 2,000 are still alive in Mosul.
A mainline Protestant denomination is considering endorsing a movement to boycott Israel. The Presbyterian Church's General Assembly met in Detroit last week. One of the issues discussed is the church's possible endorsement of the Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions, or BDS movement. The Presbyterian Church has considered punitive measures against Israel for more than a decade, but the resolutions have never passed. In 2012, the council came within 2 votes of directing the church to completely divest from Israel. One elder of the Presbyterian Church who opposes divestment said it's become more and more clear that the BDS movement is hostile to Israel. For that reason, he has been fighting against the church joining the movement. Unfortunately, anti-Israel sentiment has spread throughout the denomination, and the likelihood of punitive sanctions against companies cooperating with Israel is very high.
The Israel Allies Foundation hosted a European summit in Budapest last week, which was attended by European parliamentarians from more than 15 nations. Israeli members of Knesset met with 20 of the parliamentary members to discuss the mobilization of support for Israel based on Judeo-Christian values. As part of the event, the chairman of the World Jewish Congress, Ronald Lauder, and Israel's Minister of Tourism, Uzi Landau, addressed over 12,000 Bible-believing Christians at Hungary's Faith Church. In an historic speech, Lauder promised to stand up for the plight of Christians in the Middle East, Africa, and Asia.
In a touching display of genuine concern for the 3 kidnapped Israeli teenagers, members of Knesset from across the political spectrum united in prayer for the safe return of Gilad, Naphtali, and Eyal. Hundreds of people, men and women, religious and secular, packed a conference room to take part in the prayers led by Knesset Speaker Yuli Edelstein. The chief rabbi of Israel visited the synagogue of the missing boys and led prayer services as 700 religious schools across the country held simultaneous prayers for the youngsters. Tens of thousands of Israelis crowded the Western Wall Plaza in the Old City of Jerusalem to ask God to assist the IDF in recovering the kidnapped teens. In addition, the entire nation of Israel has united to pray for their safe return. We at Israel Now News ask that all of our viewers around the world join the nation of Israel in praying that Gilad, Naphtali, and Eyal will return home quickly and unharmed.
That concludes the news portion of our show. Stay tuned for Ask the Source with Josh Reinstein.
Hello and welcome to Ask the Source. I'm your host Josh Reinstein, and we're here once again in a beautiful day on our rooftop studio in Jerusalem. My guest today is Remy Reinstein, CEO of the Israel-China Interflow Association, and also my brother. Remy, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, Josh.
Remy, tell our viewers a little about what is the Israel-China Interflow Association?
It's a nonprofit organization started last year here in Israel, and basically what we do is that we help startup companies and also mid-sized and large companies expand into the Chinese market.
Why is China so important for Israel these days?
Well, in the last 4 years, trade between Israel and China has grown 30%. The government of Israel and the government of China have opened the doors for cooperation between our two countries, and we believe it's a perfect time for trade between our two countries.
What are some of the fields where we see more cooperation between Israel and China?
Well, especially because Israel has the know-how, technological know-how, we're looking more into fields like agrotechnology, biotechnology, clean energy, things like that.
We see in China today that there are 100 million Bible-believing Christians. What kind of impact does that have on relations between Israel and China?
Well, I believe that they're the first line with the connection between China and Israel. These are the people that believe in Israel, believe that the Jews belong here, and they are starting this whole new trend of trade between Israel and China. So they're pretty much the backbone of this.
So you have this organization here, but is there any type of organization in China that you work with? Like, how do you do the dialogue?
Yeah, so basically I have a sister organization in China that's been established for about 5 years now that has thousands of members. They were very eager to do business with Israel, but they didn't really know how to get into the Israel market. So I decided that I'd create the organization here in Israel and kind of get my members here, and that we can make the connections.
Last month, there was a very important event at our Knesset, the Israel's parliament, where the leaders of Israel, including the speaker of the Knesset, came together with Chinese business leaders. Tell us about that event.
Well, it was a historic event in the Knesset. It was the first ever Israel-China economic summit there. It was hosted by my organization, the Israel-China Interflow Association, as well as the high-tech committee in the Knesset. And we were able to bring many Chinese government officials and businessmen to the Knesset, as well as hundreds of high-ranking government officials in the Knesset and CEOs as well. And we had a joint event that went very well. I'm very happy with the success of it.
Everyone knows Israel's the high-tech nation. We're known for our high-tech. We're also known for our agriculture. What other fields are the new emerging fields in high-tech and in economics and in trade?
I would say that water management, water filtration is very important. As you said, of course, agrotech was one of them. Biotechnology is very important as well. And we are, leading the world in these techs, and Israel has it in spades, as we say.
They found natural gas off the coast of Israel. It's supposed to really change our economy forever. Will this have any impact with trade to China?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, finding new sources, resources like this always, impacts the trade between other nations. And, this is a very hot time for Israel-China relations, as I said before. And I definitely think that there'll be a positive impact with that.
Recently, we just had this visit of our Prime Minister to China. The Vice Premier of China came to Israel. We have your organization in the Parliament working together with Chinese business leaders. Why all of a sudden is there just an explosion of activity between China and Israel?
Well, right now there's a perfect time with Israel and China relations because we have the Israel know-how and China has that, manufacturing powerhouse aspect to it. So it's kind of, a small little country with the knowledge compared to a larger country with more money and people. I think it's a perfect mix right now.
And they're not concerned about the Arab boycotts as the past? They're more concerned now in finding the technologies?
I believe so, because there are issues of environmental issues going on in China now, and they desperately need technology from Israel to help the citizens of China.
Remy, there are literally tens of millions of people watching this show. What message do you have for our viewing audience?
Israel is open for business. We have the Israeli know-how that other countries are looking for now. China is just an example of a country that is, looking for this top level of technology that Israel has to offer, and the rest of the world is eventually going to see that as well.
Thank you, Remy, for being on the show, and thank you for tuning in to Ask the Source. I'm your host, Josh Reinstein. Now back to the studio.
This is Jerusalem, Israel's capital city. It's an ancient and modern treasure that is beyond belief. There's a little bit of Israel in all of us. Come find the Israel in you.
Up next, shining light from Israel.
Clowning around can sometimes be a very serious business. And it's here at Tel HaShomer Safra Children's Hospital, as well as 25 other Israeli hospitals, that these medical clowns are accepted as part of the medical team. They take part in many medical procedures, helping to reduce anxiety and often pain. The clowns are also a proven drug and side effect-free alternative to sedation.
Stop!
And for their exceptional ability to help a child create a fantasy dream world during a challenging time, they've become known as Dream Doctors. The Dream Doctors project began in 2002, with 3 medical clowns joining the staff at Hadassah Medical Center in Jerusalem. Today, Dream Doctors has a team of 90 medical clowns working in hospitals throughout Israel.
From the beginning, we have developed a new concept of the usage of medical clowning. We decided that the clowns will be part of the healthcare team and help the team in all kind of procedures and treatments. And today we are involved in 44 different medical settings.
Dream Doctors are used extensively in medical departments from oncology to nephrology. They accompany children to the OR to help reduce preoperative distress and are used successfully as an alternative to sedation in isotope mapping, as well as Botox, steroid, and other painful injections. They are also very instrumental in motivating children through their recovery and rehabilitation periods. Avital, who is on her way to lecture at a medical clowning conference in Australia, has been a Dream Doctor for 10 years now.
Involving the clown in procedures it's something that happens only in Israel, and it is developed by Dream Doctor Project and other projects from around the world are very interested in this because they work only after procedures or before procedures, but never inside with the doctor and the patient. And they want to know how actually it can work out.
4 years ago, Professor Uziel of Meir Medical Center in Kfar Saba successfully developed a procedure for treating children with chronic arthritis using a medical clown.
We treat children with arthritis by intra-articular steroid injection, which is a painful procedure. We use nitrous oxide sedation. And the medical clown is part of our team. So he's the first one who meets the child and decreases his anxiety.
In order for the nitrous oxide to be an effective sedation tool, the child needs to enter the procedure relaxed.
What I do to reduce the child's anxiety is first to create a relationship and bonding with them. And then I bring them into the treating room to meet all the medical devices and to touch everything. So they feel more comfortable with the atmosphere of the hospital and also the medical devices.
During the procedure, the doctor and medical clown mirror each other.
I distract the child attention from the injection itself by putting stickers on the leg, and we are playing through the procedure itself.
An extensive study of the procedure showed that the children experienced a very low pain level with the use of a medical clown, substantially lower than without.
We can say now that the medical clown is part of the rheumatology team.
Dream Doctors have been involved in many humanitarian efforts over the years. They sent medical clowns to help in post-tsunami Thailand in 2005, the Indonesian disaster zone in 2009, as well as earthquake-torn Haiti in 2010. These medical clowns are also very involved in helping children brought to Israel for treatment from the Palestinian territories. At Tel HaShomer Safra Children's Hospital, approximately 20 to 25% of children treated every month are from Gaza or Jenin. Shlomi, who has been a medical clown at Tel HaShomer for 8 years, works extensively in the oncology unit.
הילדים מעזה מגיעים עם הרבה פחד, וצריך לזכור שהם בעצם נלקחים מביתם, הם מגיעים מתוך הבית שלהם למקום שהוא בעצם זר, והליצן בדרכים המיוחדות שלו ובכלים שלו יוצר איתם קשר רגשי. והקשר הרגשי הזה מרגיע אותם, גורם להם להרגיש יותר בטוחים, ולאט לאט הם מתחילים להרגיש בבית.
Medical professionals and dream doctors are working hand in hand to ensure a less traumatic, positive experience for all children receiving medical treatment in Israel, and hoping to share their knowledge worldwide.
Anywhere else, this would be a vacation by a lake. But this is the Sea of Galilee. The wonders of Israel are beyond belief. There's a little bit of Israel in all of us. Come find the Israel in you.
Please stay tuned for the ICEJ report from the International Christian Embassy, Jerusalem.
What an exciting place to be, what an exciting place to visit. I'm talking to you about the land of Israel, the place where Jesus was born, and Jesus did his full ministry and went up to heaven. We'll come back one day to this very same land. Now you have the opportunity to come and visit this place in the summer tour 2014. This place is colorful, it's tasty, it opens the Bible in a new way, and it is very diverse. I will give you a small tour. Now we're in the desert. The beach, culture, history, big city life, awesome food. Israel is not just camels, hummus, and desert. Israel is also modern society, and one of the examples is the city of Tel Aviv, having beautiful beaches like this. In the summertime, these beaches are packed, and you can enjoy also this beautiful beach when we come to the summer tour, to this exact same place. So come along the summer tour 2014 to enjoy the land of Israel.
Coming up next, special Aliyah report from Ben Gurion Airport, Israel.
What you see behind us is today a fulfillment of biblical prophecy. Behind me, Bnei Menashe from the country of Israel are arriving, and you are seeing today as prophecy is being fulfilled in front of your eyes. The Bnei Menashe are returning after 2,700 years back to their ancient homeland.
Therefore prophesy and say to them, Thus says the Lord God, Behold, I will open your graves and raise you from your graves, O people, and I will bring you into the land of Israel. And you shall know that I am the Lord when I open your graves and raise you from your graves, O my people.
And this is taking place today because Christians around the world were willing to listen to the voice of God and were contributing financially to pay for the flights of those Bnei Menashe to come back today to Israel. The prophet Isaiah says in Isaiah chapter 49 verse 22, he says, Behold, I am lifting up my hand to the nations, and they shall bring back your people from the four corners of this world, and they will bring them back to the land of Israel. Today, Gentile Christians around the world became part of this fulfillment of biblical prophecy of returning the Bnei Menashe to the land of Israel.
In the late 1970s, a few individuals from a small people group located in northeast India began to research the origins of their religious traditions and their ancestry. Their research led them to discover an ancestral connection to Israel. Under Persian rule, their ancestors traveled through the Silk Route to modern-day Afghanistan, Tibet, China, and finally to southeast India in the midst of Myanmar and Bangladesh. This group, called the Bnei Menashe or Sons of Menashe, are believed to be descendants from the lost tribe of Manasseh. Today, you can take part in the fulfillment of the ancient biblical promise to return the people of Israel to their homeland. The ICEJ has committed to sponsor future flights from northern India to Israel for an additional 250 Bnei Menashe. The flight costs for 250 Bnei Menashe to return is roughly $250,000 US. For many of the Bnei Menashe, returning to the land of the Bible is the fulfillment of a lifelong dream, and a gift of $1,000 can help make that dream a reality for one of these individuals. No gift is too small. Every donation we receive to assist us in this important work is greatly appreciated, so please give generously.
Please help us in these coming weeks and months to bring more Bnei Menashe to the land of Israel. Become part of this modern day miracle of the prophetic fulfillment of ancient scriptures in our time, and help us with $1,000 per person to help them to return back to the land of Israel.
To make a donation, visit our website at www.icej.tv. or send a check to ICEJ, P.O. Box 1192, Jerusalem 91010, Israel.
That's all for this edition of Israel Now News. I'm Yochanan El-Rom.
And I'm Erin Viner, reporting from our studio in Jerusalem. Please join us again next week for all of your Israel updates.